There was a time in my life when everything felt heavy. Too heavy for one person to carry. My mind was a battlefield, my chest felt like a collapsing tunnel, and every night I fell asleep praying I'd wake up with just enough strength to pretend I was okay for one more day. That was when Claire, my wife, told me, "You need help. Real help." She introduced me to Daniel. A therapist. A friend. Someone she trusted. He was calm, patient, and confident. He listened without judgment. He helped me pull myself out of panic attacks. He helped me breathe again. He helped me sleep again. He helped me remember how to exist. Slowly, I felt alive again. Safe again. Human again. And the entire time, I kept thinking, thank God for Daniel. I trusted him more than I trusted myself. He was the one person I believed would never hurt me. I had no idea I was rebuilding myself, so two people I trusted could break me all over again. As I got better, I noticed something changing. Not in me. In them. The way they interacted, the way they exchanged glances when they thought I wasn't looking, the way she smiled at his jokes longer than necessary. It didn't feel like a therapist-patient bond anymore. It felt like something else. Something I wasn't meant to notice. I told myself it was nothing. That it was just my anxiety talking. That after months of struggling mentally, I was probably imagining things. But then, I saw the little things. The subtle changes only someone who loved deeply could notice. She dressed nicer on therapy days. She wore perfume he once complimented. She left our sessions early but came home late. Her phone notifications increased, but she always hid the screen. The atmosphere shifted slowly, quietly, like a storm building in the distance. And I kept telling myself I was being irrational, not knowing that my instincts were right, and my trust was the only thing lying. The first real warning sign happened on a Thursday. Daniel had asked to speak with her privately after our session. He said it was about my progress, my mental health plan, my treatment timeline. I believed him. I trusted both of them. Why wouldn't I? I waited in the car. 5 minutes passed. 10. 20. 40. I finally walked toward his office window. I wasn't trying to spy. I was worried something was wrong. What I saw didn't break me yet, but it carved the first crack. She was laughing. Laughing in a way I hadn't seen in months. Laughing in a way she never did with me anymore. He touched her arm. And she didn't pull away. It wasn't romantic. It wasn't intimate. Not yet. But it was wrong. Deeply, undeniably wrong. My chest tightened. Not with jealousy, not with insecurity, but with the feeling that I was losing something I didn't even know was leaving. The lies didn't explode all at once. They slipped in quietly, softly, like whispers in the dark. Traffic was insane. I forgot to charge my phone. We needed to talk about your progress. He's just helping us. Each lie was small. Harmless on its own. Easy to forgive. Easy to overlook. But lies are like raindrops. You barely notice the first one, but soon, you're drowning. She became distant. Detached. Physically present, emotionally gone. She avoided eye contact. She avoided conversation. She avoided touch. As if loving me had become a chore. She didn't have the energy for. And any time I tried to talk about it, she blamed my mental state. You're imagining things. You're overthinking again. You need to trust me. Trust. The word she used like a weapon. The word she used to blind me. While she slowly walked deeper into the arms of the man who once saved my life. One night, after another late meeting, she came home quietly. Too quietly. Her hair was slightly messy. Her lipstick smudged. Her shirt buttoned wrong. And when I walked into the hallway, she froze. Like she'd seen a ghost. Or worse, like she'd been caught. Her voice trembled as she whispered, "You're awake." I nodded. "Where were you?" She blinked too many times. Swallowed too hard. Spoke too slowly. "Just working late. You know how it is." But her perfume didn't smell like the office. There were faint marks on her neck. Marks that didn't come from stress. Or exhaustion. Or therapy. Something cold settled inside my chest. A feeling I hadn't felt since my darkest days, numbness. Floating. Detached. Because for the first time, I realized this wasn't paranoia. This wasn't anxiety lying to me. This was betrayal. Raw. Real. Close enough to touch. But I wasn't ready for the truth. Not yet. Not even close. Because the next chapters, the ones coming after this, those are where the real destruction begins. 2 days after that strange night, Claire fell asleep on the couch while watching TV. Her phone lit up next to her. Just a simple notification. A preview of a message. A name I trusted more than my own reflection. Daniel. At first, I didn't move. Didn't breathe. Didn't blink. But then another notification popped up. Then another. And another. The preview text wasn't professional. It wasn't clinical. It wasn't anything a therapist should ever send to a married woman. "I missed the way you looked at me earlier. Wish we had more time alone today. I still feel your hands on me." My heart didn't break immediately. It froze. Completely. Like everything inside me turned to ice. My hands shook as I picked up the phone. I didn't even have to unlock it. The previews were enough to kill me. But curiosity is a curse. And pain is addictive. So I unlocked it. And I read everything. Every message. Every midnight conversation. Every plan. Every secret meetup. Every lie she fed me while pretending they were therapy sessions. Some messages were new. Some were weeks old. Some dated back to a time I was still struggling to stay alive. The man who guided me out of darkness was the same man who dragged my wife into his arms while telling me to trust the process. I put the phone down. My entire body was shaking. Not from fear. Not from heartbreak. From disbelief. From the sheer brutality of knowing I had been played like a fool by the two people I loved and trusted the most. I should have confronted her right then. I should have screamed. Cried. Demanded answers. Broken something. Broken everything. But instead, I walked to the kitchen, poured a glass of water, and sat in silence. Like a man watching the ruins of his life from a distance. I listened to her breathe as she slept. I stared at her hands. The same hands that once held me together. Now holding someone else in secret. I rehearsed 1,000 confrontations in my mind. How could you? Why him? Was I not enough? Did you ever actually love me? But every scenario ended the same way. With me breaking. And her blaming everything on my mental health. You're overthinking again. You're imagining things. You need help. No. Not this time. Not ever again. I realized something painful. Confronting her wouldn't give me closure. It wouldn't give me answers. It wouldn't heal anything. Because you can't wake someone who's already decided to sleep through your pain. So I sat there, quiet, still, almost mechanical, waiting for the right moment to disappear emotionally. Before I disappeared physically. The next morning, Claire woke up cheerful. Glowing. Light. As if she wasn't carrying the weight of betrayal inside her purse. "Morning, babe," she said with that soft smile. The same smile she used on him the night before. I studied her face carefully. The brightness in her eyes, the relaxed shoulders, the content energy. She wasn't guilty. She wasn't scared. She wasn't even pretending. Because she thought she was untouchable. She thought I would never know. She thought her lies were airtight. She moved around the kitchen humming, pouring coffee, checking her phone when she thought I wasn't looking. She giggled at one of his texts. At 7:12 a.m. Right in front of me. As if I didn't exist. As if I wasn't her husband. As if I wasn't the man she once claimed she'd never hurt. That moment wasn't even painful. It was numbing, like I was watching a movie of my own life. And someone else was living it for me. She kissed my cheek before leaving. A gentle kiss. A soft kiss. A meaningless kiss. And all I could think was, that kiss belongs to him now. That same day, I did something I never thought I would do. Something I'm not proud of. Something born not from anger. But from clarity. I went to an electronics store. And bought a small hidden camera. One that fit inside a desk lamp. Motion activated. Silent. Undetectable. When I returned home, I placed it in the living room. The one room where she always sat during her phone calls. And where she always prepared before therapy. I didn't install it out of paranoia. I installed it because I already knew. I just needed the truth to look me in the eyes. So I could finally stop blaming myself. For her betrayal. Within hours, the camera captured everything. Her smile. As she typed to him. Her blush. When she read his messages. Her shaky breath. When he sent something bold, something intimate, something she pretended she would never send back. The way she held her phone close to her chest. Like it was something precious. Something sacred. Something I had never been to her. Watching it didn't hurt. It destroyed me. But sometimes. Destruction is the only thing. That finally sets you free. That evening, she dressed up. Not fancy. Not glamorous. But intentionally. Subtle makeup. Soft perfume. A sweater I knew he once complimented. Going to the store, she said, avoiding my eyes. Her voice was trembling. A sign she didn't even bother to hide anymore. Want anything? I stared at her for a long moment. Long enough for her to feel the weight of something shifting between us. Long enough for her to sense that I knew something. Long enough for her smile to fade. For the first time in weeks. No, I finally said. Go ahead. She swallowed hard. Then left. Quickly. Almost too quickly. The door closed behind her, and the silence that filled the house wasn't peaceful. It wasn't calm. It wasn't empty. It was the silence right before a war begins. Because tonight, I wasn't just the man she betrayed. I wasn't the patient Daniel helped. I wasn't the fragile husband she lied to. Tonight, I was the man who finally saw the truth. And the next chapters, the ones coming next, that's where everything she tried to hide finally collapses. She left the house in a rush, keys shaking in her hand, breath uneven, a panic she tried to hide but couldn't. I watched her from the window as she walked to her car. Not calmly, not naturally, but like someone running late for a secret they hoped wouldn't slip through their fingers. 5 minutes later, my gut screamed at me to check the hidden camera feed. And there it was. Before leaving, she had placed her phone on the counter for a second. As she grabbed her purse, the camera caught everything. A preview message from Daniel, same place, same time. I'm already here. Location attached. Not a store. Not a mall. Not even a coffee shop. It was his private office. His therapy office. Closed at that hour. Dark outside. Lights dimmed inside. The place where she was supposed to help me heal, was the same place she went to destroy me. My stomach twisted. My hands clenched. And for the first time in weeks, I felt something stronger than heartbreak.
If this story hits you, you can support the channel with a quick hype.
Clarity. Cold, merciless clarity. I grabbed my jacket. I grabbed my phone. I grabbed every piece of confidence betrayal had forced me to grow. And I drove. Not fast. Not recklessly. Calmly. Quietly. Like a man preparing to bury the last piece of innocence he had left. When I arrived, the building was dark. Except for one office. His. Blinds half closed. A faint glow leaking through. Shadows moving inside. Shadows that shouldn't have been there. I didn't know whether to throw up. Or break the glass. Or collapse right there in the hallway. Every step I took felt like walking underwater. Slow, heavy, suffocating. I stood right outside the door. Not close enough to be heard, but close enough to confirm the truth no man ever wants to see. Soft laughter. Her voice. His voice. Muffled, but unmistakable. A sound that used to heal me was now killing me. She wasn't crying. She wasn't conflicted. She wasn't hesitating. She was happy. Happy in the arms of the man who watched me bleed emotionally, just so he could steal the heart he was supposed to protect. I leaned against the wall, eyes burning, heart not breaking. Just snapping silently, like a wire stretched too far. I didn't enter. I didn't interrupt. I didn't storm in like movies show. I just listened. Until I couldn't. Until my soul had heard enough to drown. I waited outside the building. Not hiding. Not stalking. Just standing. Existing. Trying to understand how the world hadn't stopped spinning. After everything inside me had. 30 minutes later, the door opened. Daniel left first. Shirt slightly untucked, hair a mess he tried fixing with his fingers. He looked around quickly, as if checking if anyone was watching. He didn't see me. Of course he didn't. Because people like him never look for the damage they cause. Then she walked out. Claire. My wife. The woman who once promised to love me, through sickness and health. Apparently, health wasn't for me, it was for him. She was glowing. Smiling softly. Touching her lips. As if remembering a kiss she shouldn't have given. And then, her eyes finally met mine. The smile vanished instantly. Her breathing stopped. Her purse slipped from her hand and hit the ground. She didn't speak. Couldn't. Didn't need to. Because guilt has a language of its own. And her eyes were screaming in it. I stepped forward. Not angry. Not yelling. Not broken. Just empty. The kind of empty that terrifies the person who caused it. She whispered, "You weren't supposed to be here." And that sentence, more than her actions, was the knife that finally cut through whatever hope I had left. Not, "I can explain." Not, "It's not what it looks like." Not, "Please listen." Just admission. Confirmation. And fear. Fear of losing the man she had already discarded. She tried to speak, to reach for me, to touch my arm. Like she always did when she wanted to manipulate the moment. I stepped back. That movement. That single step. Told her everything she didn't want to know. "Please," she whispered. "No, no, wait, listen." I listened, I said quietly. 4 months. To lies. To excuses. To stories you crafted to cover the one truth you were terrified I'd ever see. Her eyes filled with tears. The fast kind, the kind someone cries when their world is collapsing. But tears don't fix betrayal. And guilt doesn't erase choices. She reached again. I stepped back again. And that was when she broke. Full collapse. Shaking. Begging. Trying to turn back the clock on a life she ruined. It wasn't supposed to happen, she cried. He helped me. I was vulnerable. I was confused. "No," I interrupted, finally looking her in the eyes. "You were committed. You were consistent. You were intentional." Silence. She froze. Because she knew I was telling the truth. Affairs don't happen on accident. They happen on purpose. And she had been very, very purposeful. I walked past her. Not quickly, not dramatically. Just, definitively. She grabbed my arm one last time. Her voice broke into pieces. "Please, don't leave me." I turned. And the man she used to know. The man who begged for her love, who trusted her blindly, who believed every promise. Was gone. Completely. I didn't yell. I didn't insult her. I didn't shame her. I simply said, "You already left me. I'm just catching up." Her knees buckled. She collapsed onto the pavement, crying the kind of cry that shakes a person's soul. But I didn't stay. I didn't comfort her. I didn't kneel beside her like I used to. I walked away, not because I didn't love her, but because love stops meaning anything. When betrayal becomes louder than truth. And as I left, I realized something painful, tragic, but liberating. The hardest part of losing someone is accepting that they were gone long before you ever let them go. When I got home, the silence felt different. Not peaceful, but hollow, like walking through a museum of a life that no longer belonged to me. Everything in the house. Every picture frame, every mug in the kitchen, every blanket on the couch felt like a lie wearing a memory's face. I sat on the edge of the bed, where she used to kiss me goodnight, where she used to whisper that she loved me, where she pretended she was mine, while giving everything that mattered to someone else. I stared at our wedding photo on the dresser. Two people smiling, hands intertwined, eyes full of promises. Neither of us understood. And for a moment, just one painful moment, I missed her. Not who she became, but who I thought she was. But missing a ghost doesn't bring them back. So I took the photo, held it in my hand, and whispered to the version of myself inside it, "I'm sorry you didn't know." Then I placed it face down. For the first time ever. That was the moment I realized. Home isn't a place. It's a person. And mine no longer lived here. It was close to midnight when I heard the front door open. Her footsteps were trembling, hesitant, as if she wasn't sure whether she was walking into a house or a graveyard of what used to be. "Please," she whispered, voice shaking, "can we talk?" I didn't respond. She walked into the bedroom. Eyes swollen, hands shaking, breath uneven. "I made a mistake," she cried. "I was broken, and he took advantage of." "No," I cut her off softly but firmly. "He didn't take advantage. You gave him access." Her lips trembled. She tried again, "I didn't mean to lose you." "You didn't lose me," I replied. "You threw me away." Tears streamed down her face. The desperate kind, the regretful kind, the kind a person cries when the consequences finally arrive. She sat on the floor, sobbing, begging, trying to rewrite a story she had already carved into stone. But you can't rewrite betrayal. You can only face it. And she wasn't facing hers. She wanted me to carry it with her. For once in my life, I chose myself. "I'm done," I said, and the air left her lungs like she'd been punched. Those two words were the funeral of our marriage. Not loud. Not bitter. Just final. The next morning, I woke up to a phone buzzing endlessly. It was Daniel. Did he apologize? No. Did he admit guilt? No. He sent her a long message. One she forgot to delete from her smartwatch, which mirrored the screen right in front of me. He saw us. "You need to choose. If you go back to him, we're done. Choose." As if I were some inconvenience. As if she wasn't married. As if I hadn't bled emotionally trying to save a relationship she had already abandoned. Her reply came seconds later, "I love you, but I can't lose my marriage. Not like this. Just let me fix it." And there it was. The truth. She wasn't sorry she cheated. She was sorry she got caught. She wasn't crying for me. She was crying for the life she was afraid to lose. What shattered me wasn't the affair. It was realizing that her loyalty was negotiable. And if someone's loyalty is negotiable, they never loved you. Not really. She was in the kitchen when I packed my bags. She ran toward me, panic exploding in her voice. "No, no, please. Please don't do this. We can work through it. I'll cut him off. I'll go to therapy. I'll do anything. Just don't leave." I looked into her eyes. Eyes I once trusted with everything. And I realized they no longer felt familiar. She tried to hug me. I stepped back. She tried to hold my face. I turned away. She tried to stop me from walking to the door. I gently moved her hand aside. "Don't go," she whispered, voice cracking. "I can change." And final blow of truth escaped my lips. "You only want to change because he won't choose you." Her legs gave out. She sank to the floor, crying into her hands, whispering apologies to a version of me that no longer existed. I opened the door. And before leaving, I said the words that closed the last chapter of our story: I deserved someone who protected my heart, not someone who traded it. Then I left. For good. I stood outside the house, bags at my feet, cold air filling my lungs. Like a fresh start I didn't ask for, but desperately needed. I wasn't healed. I wasn't okay. I wasn't suddenly strong. But I was free. Free from lies. Free from manipulation. Free from loving someone who didn't know how to love me back. That night, I drove without direction, letting the road decide where I'd end up. I didn't know where my life was going, but I knew where it wouldn't return. Sometimes, rebuilding yourself means burning the version of you that loved the wrong person too deeply. And that's exactly what I did. 1 mile at a time, I became someone new, someone wiser, someone stronger, someone who finally understood being alone is still better than being betrayed in someone else's arms. And that's how this ends. Not with revenge, not with rage, but with rebirth. A new beginning. Born from the ashes of a love that never deserved me.
If you've ever felt this kind of pain, don't walk through it alone. Hit subscribe and stay with us. More real stories are coming.